get caught up in amplifying a challenge we're experiencing to a state of suffering for ourselves. So what do I mean by that? I say all the time to my clients, pain times resistance equals suffering. Pain is all the challenges in life, and pain is inevitable in life. It's all those experiences that bring challenge to us, whether it's a internal or an external challenge. What do I mean by internal and external? Internal challenge is your emotional triggers, things that cause you to bring programming, belief into this present moment internally. External challenge, deadlines, dynamics in our relationships, family, friends, co-workers. When we push against the natural flow, the natural flow of harmony, peace, a sense of contentment and joy and happiness, a feeling of being in alignment, which is love, the love vibration. When we aren't in flow, that's when suffering really occurs. We're pushing against. It's easier said than done, no doubt. And it takes extreme awareness of self, of your triggers, of your, taking in that current situation you're in or experience with a fresh lens. Noticing when you bring previous baggage into the present moment. This is how this person made me feel. This is how they react. This is what they do. And you bring repetitive thought that creates a belief system into this present moment. It really amplifies that challenge to a suffering state of being. And how can we live aware of what our triggers are that actually activate these thought patterns? Hurt people hurt people. Now, we don't deliberately set out to hurt others. I know that there are some people that create pain. Most of the time we create pain unconsciously. Hurt people hurt people. Isn't that the masses? So how can I bring a state of healing for myself, activating a love, joy, peace, high vibration, Dr. David Hawkins' model of power versus force? How can I bring that type of energy into my challenges? That is the state of flow. And that should be our ultimate goal. How do we do that? By learning to understand aspects of self. Understand what emotions, what beliefs we're bringing in to that present moment experience. Experiences in life teach us so much about ourselves. Every dynamic is student-teacher, teacher-student. They have something to teach us in every moment. Some experiences more than others. But you walk away from every dynamic with a lesson, and you impart a lesson. Student-teacher, teacher-student, if we're only aware. So there's a beautiful exercise that I'd love to share. In these challenging situations and experiences, this practice can help you stay open to really seeing that challenge for what it is. O It's the acronym OPEN, O-P-E-N. O, open to whatever is showing up, including differing opinions. You don't have to agree with, but you have to accept that there's another viewpoint. You have to allow that people have other opinions. P, pause to hear and feel. This holds so much wisdom for you. Am I pushing against? Am I amplifying this situation to a suffering experience when it only is a challenge? How can I pause, hear, not attach to what's being exchanged here, and feel how I'm feeling, understanding myself from an emotional perspective, the thoughts I'm creating that are creating a belief system, and what my body, physical sensations are telling me. E, engage awareness by being curious about any of your bodily sensations, your emotions, and thoughts. You're getting really curious about what that challenge is teaching you. And you're open to allowing that experience to teach you something about yourself. And then N, notice the benefits of exploring a wider view. If we get out of that reactionary state of being and be able to take in a greater perspective so that we can see not only their opinion, not only their feelings, but also honoring ours and understanding ours. This comes with great diligence on your part. It takes effort, and we know we get stronger and better at the things we practice. So I encourage you to practice this open exercise in mindful awareness in those times of challenge. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how it worked. Recap, open to whatever shows up, including different opinions. P, pause to hear and feel. E, engage awareness by being really curious about what's going on internally and how you're processing your external experience. N, notice the benefits of exploring a wider view. My clients hear me say, come out of the weeds, get up on the hilltop. Detach from the situation, observe. Encourage yourself to heal those emotions that are triggering for you, that are creating emotional attachment, so you can see a greater perspective and avoid amplifying that challenge to a suffering state of being. Till next time.
Thank you so much for responding to my survey, what's your top challenge in corporate life right now? You responded that stress and burnout was your top challenge. Did you know that employee burnout is rising? 52% of all workers feel burned out. Millennials and Gen Zers report 59 and 58% respectively. And I want to ask you, do you think that stat reflects you? Do you think that your stress levels affect how you show up in work? Do you think your stress levels impact your personal life? See, the bottom line, how you interpret and process what stresses you directly affects not only your physical health, your mental and emotional health, but also all those around you. So I want to also ask you another question. If you could learn to be more aware of your stress levels as they're happening and manage your stress levels and ease your burnout, do you think you'd be interested in learning more? Would you like to create a sense of balance and peace for yourself? So how do I propose doing that? By learning to live and work and peak perform from the inside out. Learning to live mindfully aware of how you show up in life and how you think and feel and think in this present moment. And so for over 15 years, I've been coaching professionals to create a life of purpose, passion and peak performance, both personally and professionally. Now, I can't solve your burnout and your stress levels and improve your stress levels right here and right now in this short video. But I can plant the seed and share one simple tool to assist you right now. And it begins with present moment awareness. Do you feel you struggle with living in the present moment, being present for conversations, doing your job, actively listening to your spouse or your coworker, your children, being present when you're at their activities? You're not alone. Harvard Business Review study found that over 58% of employees reported an inability to regulate their attention at work. Between 45 to 58% of the time, leaders can't keep their attention focused, and only 2% do anything about it. So I want to share a simple but effective tool to help improve your present moment awareness. Now, like anything, our mind is a muscle, and we know we get stronger and better at the things we practice most. So I'm just planting a seed today because I do genuinely care. This is my passion and my purpose, to improve and help you create a life you design, not just going through the motions, a default lifestyle. So this tool is called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. It's a very grounding method. You're in a conversation and you realize, I am totally not present. I want you to focus on 5 things you can see. Notice in the room, 5 things you can see. Even if you're looking at the person, 5 things you can see on them. Focus on next 4 things you can touch. If my hand's on the table, my feet are on the ground, I can feel my skin touching my clothes. 3 things you can hear: the person's voice, the hum of the air conditioning unit or heating unit, the traffic outside. 2 things that you can smell. Now this one gets a little more challenging, right? But maybe there's coffee in the room if you're at a meeting. Maybe you're drinking a cup of coffee. Maybe the fragrance of that person's cologne or perfume. And 1 thing you can taste. Again, another challenging one. Maybe you can check in with your mouth. The toothpaste, like I can feel the toothpaste in my mouth, the taste of it, if you just drank some coffee. So in closing, I want to ask you another question. Do you think if you were living more present in this present moment, it would improve your productivity and how you process and manage your stress? Do you think it would mitigate your burnout? Now, I recognize it alone can't do it, but it's the start. It's the start. And if you improve your attention and focus by just a few percentages, what would that do to your life? If you want to learn more about my proprietary cutting-edge approach, this approach is not for everyone, but I'm not going to dive in more in here. But I've been coaching and doing this method for over 15 years. And this mindset proprietary method that I use, that I've developed, will manage your stress and your burnout and transform your life. Guaranteed. Just view the recommendations right here on that I've received on my LinkedIn page. So if this is something you'd like to learn more about, please simply reply yes, and we will send you a document to share a little bit more information about it. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate you and look forward to staying in touch. Many of you know that Dr. Joe Dispenza is a huge influencer of my Pathway to Inner Peace, featuring the 4R method coaching methodology. Dr. Joe talks about how emotions are a chemical elixir in the body. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One, he talks about how he uses the example of a person who draws from guilt. Someone who constantly, anytime there's a situation, somehow, some way, has a feeling that it's my fault, that whatever is occurring is my fault. The person who constantly draws or thinks that everything and anything is influenced by that person and creates a sense of guilt. That person creates a chemical order in the body, according to Dr. Joe, that maintains that chemical order, and in this example, guilt. And basically, that person will do anything unconscious to themselves to maintain that chemical order. You practice the thoughts of guilt so much so that the cells become swimming in a sea of guilt of their own doing. You become addicted to a feeling of feeling guilty, and will do anything and everything to maintain that chemical order regardless of your external circumstances. This is powerful stuff, folks. When I read this book many years ago, it changed my life and it changed how I coached. So how do we know or discover what emotional current I'm running from? What is that chemical elixir in my body? And the exercise I want to share here on this video is one that will cultivate a sense of awareness of your emotions, your thoughts, and your body's sensations. Living aware of how you interpret the present moment, whether it's a moment of stress, whether it's a moment of feeling good. It's a very simple exercise, but helps you to begin to experience what's going on inside. Your emotions are a key component on how they influence your thoughts. Your emotions create your thoughts. A lot of people find this a little confusing. Wait a minute, I create a thought. Well, feeling, thinking, feeling. This is a constant exchange. Feeling your emotions, noticing your thoughts, and then your body is the best mind reader ever. So you want to tune in and notice what's going on in your body, the body sensations. They're all influencing that present moment and how you interpret that present moment, your perceptions. Many of my clients realize that they've turned off their emotional indicators in an effort to navigate work and life from a thinking perspective as opposed to a feeling perspective. Somewhere in their course of time, they have tuned into their analytical brain and quieted their intuition, their gut, and not leading life from heart center or following their heart. Somewhere through life experiences, somebody could have been told to not follow their heart or to not trust their intuition, to instead see the data, see the reality for what it is, and go by that. Or maybe something made them doubt their intuition. Maybe choices that were made and they lost faith or confidence in following their intuition. So these are all reasons why we could actually turn off our ability to discern what emotion am I experiencing. And another thing, some emotions can feel really scary. And somewhere along the way, we think emotions define us. They don't. They ebb and flow. They come and go. I'm simply experiencing this emotion. I am not that emotion. And thus, what happens is it's easier not to experience that emotion, numb ourselves, whatever it takes to not feel. Because A, I'm afraid to feel. I might go down a big black hole, or get so in tune with my feelings that I can't function. So feelings can get very, very scary. And I'm very, very aware of this as I'm coaching and I'm holding people's hands as they are taking those blinders off, really getting tuned in to how they're feeling. So this exercise puts our toe in the water, and it really starts to get you tuned in to the awareness of your emotions, your thoughts, and your body's sensations. So would you like to practice with me? Let's get comfortable now and practice. And we just begin by tuning into the world around us, really bring ourselves into the present moment, engage our senses. And I want you to engage the sense of sound. Like right now, I can hear the air conditioning running. I can hear birds outside. What do you hear? Just taking in the sounds. You don't have to label them. Just notice them. Feel now your buttocks in your chair. Feel the points of contact that your body is making with whatever it's touching. And now, just invite yourself to tune in to what is passing through your thoughts. What thoughts am I creating right this moment? Can you view the thoughts like passing clouds? You're not attached to them. You're just allowing them to pass by. You're observing them. But if you go and find yourself attached to a thought and getting caught in a train of thought, you haven't failed. Simply pull back and go, oh, I see my thoughts. And what's occurring in my body right now? How does my body feel? Now, we're not taking much time. You notice how I'm moving through this very rapidly. You can take as long or short as you want. I simply want you to start bringing your awareness to it. Notice the body. Gently scan the body. How does my body feel? Thoughts are going to keep thinking now. Now we're thinking, how's my body feel? What parts might ache? What parts feel fine? I'm simply observing and I'm not judging. And there's no right or wrong. And then, how do I feel emotionally? Right here, right now, am I tired? Am I anxious? Am I content? Am I at peace? Again, no right or wrong. You're just gently turning toward yourself, seeing what you're feeling in this present moment. Getting really dialed in to your inner world. And now, just invite yourself to have what we call choiceless awareness. Whatever is passing through, whether it's a thought, a sound, a feeling in your body that has your attention or your awareness. We'll just stay silent for a moment as you invite choiceless awareness. Just being in this present moment, being aware. This simple exercise is just tuning you in. Remember, non-judgment, just curiosity like a scientist observing an experiment. How do I feel physically, mentally, and emotionally in this present moment? We're not out to fix anything. We're just accepting what is and how I feel. I'm learning to discern and be aware of what I'm feeling and recognizing how it influences my experience. Just open awareness. Now set the intention that when I go to open up my eyes, that I'm choosing to see from a fresh lens. Can I choose to see this present moment from what we call beginner's mind? Allow it to stand on its own. Can I just take a moment, maybe even sigh, and invite a newness? Can I invite a feeling of peace? Can I reach for something better feeling than what I'm feeling now? If I'm feeling peace-filled or joy-filled, can I maintain it? Can I set that intention that with each flow of breath in this present moment, I'm going to set an intention to greet it with newness, a sense of wonder and excitement. Can you do that? Because guess what? This present moment influences every other moment. I can choose how I want to feel. Regardless of my external circumstances, I can create internally a willingness, a sense of courage, acceptance, neutrality. And all these are better feeling than tired or anxious. And I'm choosing it because I know I have the power to see this present moment with beginner's mind. Newness. I'm seeing it, everything in my surroundings for the first time. Let's set that intention together. And then when you're ready, gently open the eyes. Choose a focal point and expand your vision from there. Till next time, wishing you only the very best, and know I am here to assist you on this journey of self-discovery, self-development, and self-awareness. So I get a lot of requests to understand what Reiki is. When people look at my profile, and what is Reiki? R-E-I-K-I. Reiki has been practiced for over 1,000 years, and it was discovered, the original one was by Dr. Miko Yasui back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. And Reiki is laying on of hands. The word Reiki comes from two Japanese words, Rei, R-E-I, and Ki, K-I. Rei means spiritually guided or spiritual wisdom, the higher knowledge, spiritual consciousness, the universal energies, the wisdom that comes from God, who's all-knowing. Ki means life energy, life force energy. Ki is the same as prana, chi, vital life force energy. As long as there is life, there is ki flowing. Ki is the energy of our thoughts and our emotions and our spiritual life. When our ki is high, we're free and healthy. And when it's low, this is where we become compromised. We get sick and we become vulnerable to illness. So Reiki is spiritually guided life force energy. Reiki is one with God consciousness. So how does it work? It's a touch therapy, and it actually is about bringing the body into a state of balance. Our natural state of being is healthiness, happiness, and wholeness. And Reiki helps bring your body into balance. This complementary therapy is becoming very well known in the medical communities, and I'm so lucky to, right here in Philadelphia, the University of Penn, their oncology services offer the complementary therapies like Reiki, acupuncture, massage, to complement modern medicine. Reiki has been proven to help when in chemo treatments, radiation treatments, to help the body relax. It also has been very helpful in hospice as someone makes their transition and helping the body to relax. But it's also very useful in our well-being, wellness. So before you get to dis-ease or disharmony in the body, the chi becoming disrupted, we have wellness, right? So Reiki can also be used to help the body maintain wellness. So how is it administered? A Reiki practitioner who has been attuned to Reiki lays hands or hovers hands and channels additional life force energy, universal energy, from the crown of their head out through their hands, and encourages the cells in that recipient's body to come into balance. And how do they do it? It is aligning with their chi, the recipient, which is their innate ability to choose wellness, to raise their vibratory chi, to promote healing and wellness. We're alive because life force is flowing through us. This is what EKGs read. It also flows around us in our energy field and aura that's 6 feet from our bodies. Life force nourishes the organs and cells of the body, supporting them in their vital functions. And when the flow of life force energy is disrupted, it causes diminishing functions in the organs and tissue in that physical body, in and around that area. Dis-ease, disharmony. The life force energy is responsive to thoughts and feelings. And it becomes disrupted when we accept, either consciously or unconsciously, negative thoughts or feelings about ourselves. And these negative thoughts and feelings create disharmony in the body and disrupts the natural flow of our life force energy, thus affecting the organs and tissues in the body. It diminishes their vital functions. So Reiki encourages and heals by flowing through those affected parts of the energy field and charging them, bringing them up, raising their vibratoriness to be in alignment with our natural state of being, of healthiness, wholeness, happiness, as Dr. David Hawkins refers to, love, joy, peace, the high vibratoriness of flow. So when we're in the flow with our natural state of being, we're at our highest vibratoriness, peak performance, healthiness, wholeness. So it heals by coming into those negative parts, charging them, encouraging them to drop or fall away from that negative, to break it up. In so doing, Reiki clears and straightens and heals the energy pathways. So this is just a brief little description of what Reiki is and how it works. I've been a Reiki master and teacher for over 15 years. I utilize it every day in my own self-healing practice, level 1 of Reiki, and I train others. So if you'd like to learn more about it, feel free to reach out to me. But I find it as one of many tools to help you in overall well-being. Take care. Today's video, activating the vagus nerve for overall optimum health. Did you know that the vagus nerve connects our breath to our emotions? When we place our intention to take slow, deep breaths, our heart rhythm slows down. But did you also know that the out-breath stimulates the vagus nerve? Your out-breath is directly connected to your well-being. The vagus nerve is the key messenger of your nervous system. And when it's stimulated, it signals to the body that it's a time or state of calm. So the vagus nerve extends down from the brain to the colon, connecting it to the middle ear, the vocal cords, the heart, the lungs, the intestines, and everything along the way. It interacts with our autonomic nervous system, that part of the nervous system that is responsible for such unconscious processes like digestion and breathing. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of the autonomic nervous system that stimulates the body to rest and digest. So the vagus nerve carries a lot of importance, and it has a profound impact on our state of being. Deep, slow breathing stimulates the vagus nerve and lowers the heart rate. And this can be amplified through rhythmic rising and falling of belly breath. And my clients know that I'm real big on activating the parasympathetic. So living in awareness of when we're in the sympathetic and activating the parasympathetic. The sympathetic is our stress responders. And then how do we get into a state of calm so we can gain clarity, so we can change programming, so we can actually take back our power from unconscious habitual reactions. So the exercise that we're going to do together today is my favorite, and my clients are well aware. I do this recording for them when we're working on rewiring the brain. And it's a guided meditation of a box breath. But this time, we're going to encourage a longer exhale to stimulate the vagus nerve and activate a deeper sense of relaxation. This technique is quite effective in helping you go back to sleep or go to sleep, but it can also help just activate the vagus nerve to bring yourself into that state of calm, equanimity, a balanced state of being, so you can make rational choice. This exercise
is a 1-to-2 ratio of the breath. Longer on the exhale, the shorter end is on the inhale. So let's practice. I want you to find that comfortable seated position, or if you wish to lie down because you want to drift off to sleep, feel free. And you're just bringing your awareness to your natural rhythm of breath. Notice how it flows in. Notice how it flows out. We're not trying to control anything. We're greeting ourselves right where we are. Mindfulness teaches us to be the observer of what's going on. And it may take us a moment to settle down. Greet yourself right where you are. Is your heart rhythm spiked? Are your thoughts a whirling dervish? Just the best of your ability, breathe in, bringing your awareness to your breath. Breathe out. Sometimes I'll say to myself, in breath, out breath. If I'm really jacked up, I'll make it a complete sentence till I can get to that. I'm aware I'm breathing in. I'm aware I'm breathing out. In breath, out breath. Greeting yourself right where you are. Remember, the mind is designed to think. You're observing whatever's passing through and bring your awareness back to the flow of your breath. Now, I want you to inhale to a count of 4. Exhale to a count of 4. Let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. I prefer if you exhale through your nose, but feel free if you need to sigh and breathe out your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. Breathing in. See if you can poof the belly out. Really roll those shoulders back. Feel the breath rise. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really emptying that belly. One last time. I'm going to stay silent. And I want you to count at your own pace. Now, next flow of breath, encourage yourself to breathe in for 4. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 5. Just notice one more flow of breath this way. I love to do things in 3s. Just observe. When you finish this box breath, just be for one breath flow to observe. Then let's do count of 4, breathe in, and extend to a count of 6. Inhale for that count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6. Feel yourself getting more relaxed. Feel that breath really fired up. Inhale for 4. Exhale when ready for 6. Next inhale for 4. Exhale for 7. Feel that rhythmic breath. Feel the breath coming into a state of calm. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 7. Final 1. I want you to breathe into a count of 4, and we're now going to exhale for a count of 8. This will be the top of our extended box breath. All at your own pace now. Feel this deliciousness. You put a smile on your face. Exhale for 8. I really feel my belly concave in. Inhale for 4. Last one here. Exhale for 8. Now bring yourself back to regular breath and observe how the body feels. Set the intention now to either drift off to sleep or go about your day energized, calm, clear. Till next time, the Spirit in me bows and honors these moments with you. Namaste. So this week's video, I want to explore tuning in to our inner world and trusting that we are our best expert. So how do we trust our intuition? How do we build that relationship in trusting our own heart's desires, our own inner compass? When I'm coaching my clients, I always include exercises to build that connection, to quiet the mind, all that chatter, and listen to the silent whispers of the heart. See, life is constantly throwing us so many curveballs, and we begin to question our ability to discern what is in our best interest. We ask our friends, we ask our family, and many times we get very confused with all the data and information and the analysis and the reasoning behind something. And we begin to quiet our own inner compass. Society can make us question those feelings and encourage us to choose fact over our feelings. Look at the data. Look at the research. Not what you're feeling, not what you're thinking, but our intuition, our gut, can tell us a lot about whether we can move peacefully through this situation or greet it with chaos because we're not in alignment with our true heart's desires, or what's in alignment with who we are, as opposed to trying to be something that somebody expects you to be or wants you to be, or you think you have to be. So what I encourage you is to always include your intuition in your decision-making process. Whenever you're making those important decisions for you, tune in. Yes, you can take
data, analysis, research, reasoning, but I want your intuition and your gut to also be a very, very integral part, more so than the data. Foster that relationship with self-understanding. Understand who you are, your emotional set point, your thoughts, and your bodily sensations. My clients always hear me talk about these components, and I want to throw this in there. Your emotions, your emotional current affects every thought you think and also creates those perceptions you have in life. Repetitive thoughts create beliefs. And by the way, those perceptions aren't necessarily fact. In fact, most of the time they aren't facts. They're simply your perceptions based on your emotional current. So I encourage you to really build a relationship with those. And that's very fundamental in my proprietary methodology I use for my coaching. All three of those indicators. Now, the body is also speaking. The body is the best mind reader ever. So you want to always be tuning into your body as well. I don't want to leave that out, but emotions and thoughts create these perceptions, and we ignore. Many times we have actually a disconnect from our body. So all three of these indicators of what you're experiencing in the present moment hold wisdom for you. And what do I think is the most vital, important part of developing and fostering this awareness, fostering being able to trust your inner compass, really getting acquainted with your authentic self, is meditation. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be, everything has to stop. The world has to stop and I have to sit in lotus position and put on some peaceful music. You can do it with your cup of tea in the morning, your cup of coffee. It's about centering yourself, connecting to yourself, and really tuning in. What am I feeling in my body? What is my emotion that I'm experiencing in the present moment? There is no bad emotion, and emotions don't define. They come, they stay for a while, and they leave. So you don't want to be intimidated by those emotions or afraid to look at them. These are all things that I can help you with as a mindset coach. So please do reach out if you're having difficulty. And then notice the thoughts passing through. Again, the mind's designed to think, so it's not going to stop thinking just because you've gotten still. You're going to be having all kinds of thoughts. Those thoughts, you want to place distance between you and those thoughts. They're just passing through. I like to use the analysis of like clouds in the sky. You can't touch them, but you see them passing through. I don't want you to reach out to those thoughts. The emotional attachment, when you find yourself getting emotionally wrapped up in a thought that's passing through when you're trying to meditate, you haven't failed. The mind goes 90 to nothing. We spend 50% of our waking hours mind wandering. So the mind's going to wander. Just because you decided to sit and get still doesn't mean it's going to stop wandering. So we're building mindful muscle. We get better and stronger at the things we practice. And the more time you spend with self in that stillness, the mind will settle. Oh, she's just doing that thing again. But the beautiful thing is there's definitely a science to it, and there's magic that happen. You drop into that parasympathetic, that relaxation response, and the body comes out of fight or flight. You begin to build this relationship of understanding self, being the observer of self, and you're training yourself to greet yourself with love and kindness, non-judgment, and just pure curiosity. What's going on with me in this present moment? What am I feeling? Physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I encourage you to practice dropping in there, because what's cool is you'll start seeing how you respond to life situations. You'll notice your habitual unconscious behaviors because now you're starting to really pay attention, being aware, because you're spending time fostering this skill. During our life, we are always discovering, developing, and evolving. So I encourage you to take time, really foster that relationship with self, really tune in to your intuition and your gut, and learning to live authentically, a life you design. And watch how even in challenging situations, you'll be at peace in your heart. Enjoy your day. Today's video is inspired by this week's mindful moment, cultivating awareness as well as self-awareness in the here and now. I'm going to lead with a quote that we've all probably heard. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, by Charles Dietrich. Let's add a little mindful twist. So I encourage you, think about this for a moment. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. It's giving a beginner's mind and mindfulness twist to it. So I'm going to encourage you to take a moment and notice what is currently on your mind. What has your attention? Is it something that is occurring right here, right now? Is it something that happened yesterday or a year ago? Is it something that you're worried about that's in the future? Dwelling on something that hasn't occurred yet? Or are you right here, right now, being? Now, there's no right or wrong answer. Mindfulness teaches us to tune in and notice. Notice when we are scattered to other things and we don't have our mind on the present moment. And always remember, this present moment is new. It's never been lived before. It has sky's the limit as potentiality, and it helps you create the next moment and the next moment. This is the moment to be lived. Focus and intention. And today's society, we are pulled in so many directions. We have difficult time focusing. So there's no right or wrong here. Keep bringing yourself back to the present moment. The task at hand, whatever needs your attention. Now, I'd like to do a little exercise to help foster that. We know that if we practice in mindfulness, we build mindful muscle. We strengthen those muscles of the brain. And it's something as simple as bringing our attention to the breath can help us train our mind to better focus and concentrate in the present moment. So let's take a moment, drop in, and just find the breath. Bring your awareness and notice the inhale and notice the exhale. Just pay attention to its natural flow. We're not changing anything right this second. We're just being with it. And then just engage the senses. What do I hear in this present moment? I hear birds outside my home here. I hear the quiet hum of my heating unit. What do I smell? Do I smell anything? I happen to smell a candle I'm burning. It's a beautiful smell. Coffee. And what do I feel on my skin, my buttocks on this bench? Skin, my clothes touching my skin. So we're engaging the senses and we're just bringing our awareness to here and now. Now the mind wanders 50% of the time. It may wander as I'm simply talking. You might think, I've already failed, I can't do it. It's a-okay. Keep bringing and redirecting your attention back to your senses. Now our eyes are closed, so you can't necessarily say, what do I see? But you can hear, feel, smell. It's about engaging your senses in the present moment. Observe with curiosity and encourage yourself to live this moment. This is the moment to be lived and experienced. Just encourage. And you may find that you need to do this a couple of times throughout your day. Now, when you're ready, just gently open the eyes and let's greet this present moment with fresh eyes. And you may find you need to do this several times. And it's a-okay. We get pulled in so many directions. Just say, wait a minute, I'm going to connect to my breath. I'm going to bring my awareness and engage the senses. And it brings me into the here and now. This is how we build mindful muscle. We train the brain to live in the present moment, in the here and now. We have lots of emotions and lots of things going on. And something as simple as this builds that focus and attention. So I encourage you today, live in awareness, these unique moments. And when you find yourself not living in the present moment, that's a wonderful win for being mindful. And then gently steer yourself back. You can even do it with the eyes open. I took a moment a few minutes ago when I was trying to decide what I wanted to record. I connected to my breath. I felt the rhythm of my breath, and I looked at the birds outside and brought myself into the here and now. Got laser focused, increased my concentration so I could put something down that I wanted to record. So I encourage you, take those moments and notice how many today, just by watching this video and bringing to your awareness, that now have your attention. You'll be living more present than you ever have before. Till next time, wishing you a day filled with mindful moments. Take care.